Hey guys, this is Brian McLaughlin with LearnToGrapple.com. Today we're going to be looking at a triangle choke off of the rubber guard. This is probably my best triangle choke on high-level guys. You sometimes got to build a better mousetrap when you're dealing with people at a high level. With the rubber guard, the key is getting the arm to the mat. For me, I always like to attack the person's right arm just because 90% of the people are right-handed. So if it's like a self-defense or a fight, I'm taking away their power shot. And if it's just a grappling situation, I'm forcing them to work with their less dexterous arm. So first things first, gotta break the posture. Sit up, lock my hands. I like the gable grip with a meatball grip, okay? Pulling them down. I step on the hip. I'm gonna kick my foot high as I can. Your goal eventually is to be able to kick your shin to your hand in one motion. If you're not quite there yet, you might have to do a bit of a handoff, that's okay. However, you wanna make sure that you are tracing the collarbone, palm towards you. Immediately I have to, I think Eddie calls this the zombie. I have to swing the arm to the mat. I find his elbow in my hip. Here there's a lot of separation. A lot of times there's not going to be as much. You're going to have to dig. Okay, bring that hand through. As I pull up, I'm going to crunch forward. I want his head to come to my head. Right here. This is also going to make it difficult for him to re-swim this arm up. I clamped here. A lot of times people will neglect the crunch. They'll just swim and then he'll re-swim. And then you're just in this kind of cat chasing its tail situation. I want to pull him forward. As I go up an inch, I come forward an inch. Go up forward an inch. Clamp. All right? Try to pull your arm out. It's stuck. I own this arm. What I'm doing here, it's one of the things that is the most common mistakes with the rubber guard that you can't see is the squeeze. I'm pressing my knees together. I'm driving my heel to the ground. I'm curling in tight. I'm doing a crunch. I'm hugging my knee. The squeeze is the difference between having a good rubber guard and a decent rubber guard, okay? Or kind of a good rubber guard or a bad rubber guard. Now, what's very common is that this arm, they're not gonna leave it on your torso, they're gonna drop it to the mat, all the way to the mat. Put your forearm on the mat. Yes. If their hand is up on the mat, put it back. Put your hand on the mat. If their hand's on the mat, a lot of times you can just kind of bring your knee inside. Go back. If their forearm's on the mat, that's when you're kind of in this locked position. You have to start forcing the omoplata. So I'm going to now release with my right hand. I'm going to throw an uppercut to clear. I need to look at my palm. Come over. Now I'm going to rotate my heel over my head. Right to this position. Turning on my right side, I'm going to look for inside control. Turning on my right side, look for inside control. Get my shin inside the arm. At this point, I'm going to jump over his arm. He'll oftentimes kind of let me do this because he thinks, okay, I'm in an omoplata. This isn't the end of the world. I come here, I clamp the arm down. I pull him down. The reason is, if I'm pushing him away and pulling him down, what will happen more often than not is he's going to give me the opposite response. Down and away elicits up and towards. As he goes up and towards, I let in my windshield wiper over. Here's the triangle. I grab my shin, I pull it across the neck. I close my figure four. A lot of times you can just squeeze and finish here, but if you want to be a textbook, you'll pick the hips up, press the arm across, make whatever adjustments you need. Head down, hips up, knees together. So where people go wrong with this, there's a lot of opportunity for error. The first is just with the initial breakdown. Okay, so people will just hold here. Okay, this is not a good enough breakdown. If I come here, he can posture up, yes, and bite me. I have to make sure that I get a good solid breakdown. I want his head in my chest. Now this isn't always as easy as I'm making it out to be. This is a fight sometimes. Insist upon it. Don't open your guard until you have that posture broken. Next is the foot to the hip, all right? That's really gonna pay dividends for you if you can get either the foot to the hip or at least clamp to the back. A lot of people will leave this leg lazy. They'll come here and this is where their guard will just get past. The partner will pin and they'll start slicing through, yes, okay? You have to be proactive with that. Once you break them down, stomp that hip or leg curl hard on their back. Kicking up tight. I hold with the wrist, not with the hand. You should be able to do this even if you had no fingers. You should be able to make a fist and still hold. A lot of people, they'll come here, they have this weak grip, there's no curl. And if the guy postures up at all, go ahead, posture up, boom, it's gonna break it apart. You want a good tight curl and driving the forearm in. Swim to the mat. Now, the next problem comes when the person clears. A lot of people will do this, they'll reach up. I never want my elbow above his collarbone, okay? If I go above, he can just press his head to my head. Yes, now I don't have anything, all right? And he has the opportunity to get out. I wanna make sure that I'm staying glued here and I'm driving into his neck, almost the same way you would for a gi choke. I'm really crushing, I'm dominating this portion of his neck, right? A lot of people now have trouble when the person drops their elbow to the mat, they have trouble clearing over, right? A person will drive their head into you, okay? You have to address this. You have to give them a reason to look away. That's gonna be this forearm. I have to be mean, I have to shove it out like I'm showing off my bicep. As I do, I turn on my side. Okay? Palm towards me also. A lot of people will grab here. If I grab here, I don't nearly have as much. How does this feel on your neck? It's fine, okay? I don't have that same driving pressure. Okay? The hug on the knee. What's the purpose of the hug on the knee? It makes sure that I'm clamped on this arm. I'm crunching up, putting my knee towards my chest. He can't pull this arm out. Rip it out. Rip it out. It's not going to happen. If I have this arm out, he can pull away. Limp arm out. Okay? No, don't. Just pull straight up. Turn away. Go. Yes. All right? I have to make sure that I'm hugging tight. That way when I clear, he's not going anywhere. Then finally, I'm jump roping over. A lot of people will be here and they'll already try to get up. That's too soon. I want to make sure I take this arm completely out of the equation and clamp. Now, my leg motion, I want it to be simultaneous. A lot of people will open with one. This is telling him, here comes a triangle, defend it. I don't want to give him that opportunity. I want my legs already locked by the time he realizes it. So both legs move simultaneously. It's too late. It's too late. One's in, one's out. I have good angle and wrist control. He's getting finished. So one more time, all the way through. So that was our rubber guard triangle.